Is today the day we find the perfect electric sprayer for DIY auto painting? The comments were filled suggesting this Wagner Flexio 4300. When I started the whole nightmare with these electric sprayers, one of you guys suggested this paint gun. I did a little research and then I picked one up. I picked this up myself. It wasn't $50, it's a little bit more money, but if you can operate this gun, get a great finish, and not have to buy a compressor, this electric sprayer could be the ticket. So let's bust it open and check it out. So this paint gun solves that major issue I had with those electric sprayers. The fact that they were siphon feed and not gravity feed. Well, this one has a gravity feed option. That's gonna make it much more pleasant to use and hopefully give us a finer finish. There's the manual and documents. Looks like you get a carrying bag, which is cool. You also do have a siphon feed option with this sprayer. So there's the handle. It comes with 15 feet of hose, which I think is going to be more than enough. A gravity feed cup. So you get two cups, a mini cup and a larger cup. There's the head unit and the stand. Let's check out what tip is in this. All right, it looks like a plastic tip and it looks like there's just one size. I think this has fine atomization on this particular head unit. So I don't know what size that tip is. It doesn't say. Maybe I can read and find out. Here is the power unit. You turn it and then that snaps into there. This looks like an adjustment screw for your flow control. That locks in there. I'm not sure if this will hold up to solvents, but it looks like it's all hard plastic, so it looks like it might hold up for solvents. I guess this is going to connect to here. I'm not sure exactly what that's for. Probably like, I'm sure it's some kind of vent. One of you guys might know what it's for. This is going to be a lot easier to use, a lot easier to clean for sure. Pressure control. That's one thing we haven't seen on the other ones we've used. And just like that, it's ready to go. Okay, let's run some thinner through this, clean it, and take it for a spin. So what do we got going on here? I thought it would be a good idea to compare a conventional gun with this electric sprayer. So what I've done is I've split this hood in half. This is the hood we painted in the last episode with the Porphis PRD-815. We did this entire hood. It came out beautiful. So what I want to do today is spray half of the hood with the flex coat, and then at the end of the video, we'll compare the two sides and see which one performed better. I don't think the electric sprayer is going to perform better than the 815, but I want a side-by-side comparison so you guys at home can compare the two finishes and see the difference. Prep this side out with 600 grit sandpaper. We've removed any orange peel, so we have a nice base to start with. I am going to use the same clear. We used a speedcoat clear. Now this hood died back a little bit after we painted it with the 815, so I wanted to use the same clear coat for a good comparison. I will not be using the same color. In an ideal situation, I would be using the same color, but I'm out of this color. So we're going to use a similar color for this side, and we'll see how it looks. We're going to set this at max air pressure to start. Do a little test spray right here on this cardboard. Okay, I'm just doing a standard mix on this. This is 2-to-1. This is Nason base coat, urethane base coat. Okay, let's see how it sprays. Just do about 6 inches away. Not too bad. Let's go a little farther away. A little heavy on the bottom and top. It's nice and fine though, and I'll tell you what, it's a lot easier to use than those other ones. Let's get a little feel for it. Not a lot of overspray either. So far it's looking pretty good. I think I got a good feel for it. It seems to spray nice. Let's go ahead and try it on this hood and this fender. To clean it, I'm going to run a little bit of thinner through this. That's pretty good atomization right there. What's nice is you can detach it from the hose. You got this little stand here, so it's going to make it easy to mix up your paint and deposit it in the cup. Show you the color. There's the color. I got a feeling it's going to use quite a bit of paint. We're going to mix up 3 parts. I am gonna strain this. This gun cleans up a lot better than those other ones. For sure, it's a lot easier. I'm gonna tack rag this off real quick and we'll start laying down some base.
Too heavy, huh? I'm adjusting the trigger so we don't put out so much material. Oh, that's much better. That's much better.
Okay, so one thing I do notice is you can go off and on the trigger on these things because the pump is running right here. It's not on the gun itself, so when I go on and off the trigger, you can spray it just like a normal spray gun. Now I put the first coat on too heavy. I changed that trigger adjustment so we got less fluid, and the second coat came out super nice. It's nice and even, flashed off. Now the one thing I'll say about it is it's heavy on one end. I don't like that the fan was not uniform all the way through. It was a little bit heavier on the bottom for some reason. I don't know if we can clean that tip up just a little bit and make it more uniform, but that's just one drawback I saw to it. But overall, it laid on the paint nice. But you can see it's a little stripy. We're gonna have to see if we can even that out before we put our clear coat on. The fender doesn't look modelly or stripy, but this has a little bit of a stripe in it. I'm gonna try and open this fluid volume up a little bit more for the hood.
Oh, that's much more even. There's a little bit of debris in that tip. Oh, that's spraying much more even now.
Okay, we're gonna mix up some clear coat. This is the speedcoat clear. It mixes up 4-to-1. This is the same stuff we used on the hood originally when we sprayed it with the Porphis PRD-815. That gun didn't use as much materials as I thought it would. I'm gonna mix up 3 parts. That should be plenty. We're using the slow activator. Temperatures today are ridiculous. It's over 100 degrees today. It's not the best conditions for spraying clear coat. We just ran some thinner through it to clean it. This gun cleans up pretty easy. It's a pleasure to use compared to those other guns. The only thing is it has like a foam seal right here. I'm not sure how well that's gonna hold up with solvent, but you might be able to replace it too, I don't know. So let's take a look at the base before we start spraying. We got a little dust on here, but as you can see, it's a nice even finish. It's fairly smooth. I'm happy with how the base turned out. There was like a particle of paint or something, crusty paint, on the tip of that paint gun. That's why it was uneven. It's much more even now when I sprayed the second coat. Like I said, I put the first coat on a little heavy and I can kind of tell, but it's nice and smooth, nice and uniform. It laid the base on nice. What's nice is this gun blows air out the tip so you can just blow off your panel. I'm gonna start by trying a little bit less fluid volume, a little bit finer finish. If I have to go heavier, I'll change it up, but I'll start with the fender. And if I'm putting it on too dry, I'm gonna open that up a little bit.
I think I gotta put it on heavy. Wow.
Okay, let's take a look at this finish. Not a bad finish. This is with the Flexio. This is with the Porphis PRD-815 Flexio. If we look in the light, we have some peel in there, but we have some peel over here as well. It's really not too bad a finish. I kind of expected it to be a little bit better, but I'm still playing with this gun. I haven't got it dialed in. I tried a couple different techniques. I tried to spray slow and close with kind of medium fluid volume. And right now I'm thinking that was the best way to spray it. Maybe not. If you guys have some suggestions, I'll try those out. We'll see if we can get a little bit better finish out of this. I'm going to tell you one thing about this gun. I love that it's gravity feed. I love that it's very easy to work with, very easy to clean. It produces very little overspray. It doesn't even compare to a conventional spray gun as far as overspray. Very little overspray, and that's fantastic. Could you do a whole car with this? I don't know if that motor would take it. Maybe it would. I mean, it's designed to paint like houses. It's possible. I think you could do one side at a time for sure. Maybe do the upper surfaces separately and then the other side. Let's take a look at the fender. So the fender, I put the first coat on a little heavy and I got to run. Fender looks a little bit better to me, but it does definitely have some texture. My advice is if you're going to use this gun, if you're going to purchase this gun, you got to figure you're going to be wet sanding and buffing it. Unless you're okay with this type of finish and you just want to get paint on your car, just want it to be shiny. But if you want a factory OEM looking finish, you're going to have to wet sand and buff it. At this point, if I play around with this a little bit more and I get it dialed in and I figure out how to use it exactly, maybe we can get a flatter looking finish where you might just need to denib it and buff it. As far as cleaning this gun, all I did is run some thinner through it. I took the cap off and there's another plastic insert there that I popped off. I cleaned that all out real well. I took the cup off, cleaned out inside there because you don't want any clear left in here. Probably ruin this gun. The only thing I'm really concerned with, there's a couple little O-rings in there. Those might swell up. They might deteriorate. You might have to replace those, but O-rings, you can replace those really easy. The only real concern I have is this right here, which I cleaned it out really well. I was afraid to pop it off right now in case I ripped it or something. But this is like a styrofoam. I think it should hold up with solvents. I'm not positive though. That's the only main concern I have. But the gun is really easy to use. When I'm done, I just pop the hose off and I can take it over to my bench, clean it. Really easy, really simple to use. That is a total 100% improvement over those other guns. The finish is definitely comparable to those other guns, probably slightly better. And if I work with it a little bit more, we may even be able to refine this finish where it's a little bit flatter and smoother. Okay, so there you have it, the Wagner Flexio 4300. Excellent gun for this. Is it absolutely perfect? No, it's not absolutely perfect, but this is the best option that I have found. $200, you can buy it at Home Depot. If I can, I'll leave a link in the description. Like I said, I had to purchase this gun myself to bring you this video, so go ahead and like this video. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Listen, I appreciate each and every one of you watching. Let me know down in the comments if you want me to continue working with this gun, see if we can tune it in just a little bit better and get a better finish. Until next time, we'll see you on the next episode of Garage Noise.